Hello guys, welcome to another video. In this video, we would be seeing on how we can use tracing in LangGraph as well. Like in the previous video, we saw how we can use LangSmith, right? Using the LangChain code as well as the plain Python code and how to trace everything. So here we'll see how we can trace the LangGraph agents as well. So we know we using LangGraph, we can build the agents. So how can we trace each and every node? It's almost the same. So we'll just see with some simple example. I just imported required libraries. I've set up my environment for tracing. If you see, I've kept the tracing equal to tree. And again, I've given my API key and everything. This is my LLM. If you see, I've created in LangGraph, we create a state class, right, to access all these variables in any of the nodes. If you want, you can watch my LangGraph playlist. I very clearly explained about everything. And here, if you see, these are my all the nodes, detect language. So, I mean, what exactly is the use case? If you come and see here, user will be asking a query to convert so and so text into some other language. So, it first detects the language, which language user wants to convert to, and then what is the exact text user wants to convert to, and then it will translate. These are the three different nodes which execute sequentially. So if you see, one is in this first step using LLM, we're just detecting the language the user wants to convert to based on the user question. Okay, and then in the next text we'll exactly extract what is the exact text he wants to convert to, and then in the third step we'll convert it into that specific language. It just we are using the plain LLM codes here, nothing else in this all these nodes. But the only one add-on here is, if you see, for all these nodes I have added this traceable and the run type, what is the run type, and the name of the tool and all these things. Okay, that's it. And here I'm just building up the graph. We know to build up the graph in LangGraph we use nodes and edges, right? So I've compiled and I've executed. So when I execute this particular piece of code, I should see each and every node traced in my LangSmith website or LangSmith UI. So let me change this project name. So I'm just setting up a new project, YouTube trail 2. That's it. I'm executing this. I'm creating the state, executing all the nodes, creating the graph, compiling, and this is the graph I have created. So when I execute it, right now I don't have any of this YouTube trail 2 project, which should come when we execute this. So when I come here and refresh, I should see my new project. See, tracing projects 4 has come, YouTube trial 2 has come, and if I click on this project, we can see all the runs. So if you see, these are all the traces. Each and every node has come. First detect language, inside which we are using this particular tool, and then we have extract query node, inside which we are using this particular tool, using translate, inside which we are using. Everything has come up here. So everything can be traced, input, output, and everything. We can add some metadata as well. So we understood on how we can trace each and every step of our agent using LangGraph and LangSmith, right? So we are clear till here. So what if you want to pass some extra metadata, or what you want to read from the LangSmith UI, like what and all you have done in the previous runs and all, which we can do using the threads. If you see here, instead of directly calling this graph, I have created a method inside which I have kept that particular graph and takes an argument query. If you see here, I have created another decorator traceable chartbot final. So I should get a new run here, chartbot final, when I execute this. And now if you see here, I'm creating a session ID named thread ID one string. That's it. And I'm passing some extra LangSmith extra parameters, inside which we are passing the session ID. So in this LangSmith extra parameters, I'm passing the project name, the metadata, and the metadata will be session ID. I'll show you why to use the metadata. I've already explained in the previous video as well, but I'll show you again. If you see in the metadata, we are passing the session ID. Session ID value is nothing but thread ID 1, and the session ID key equal to session ID. That's it. So I have this particular new method, and I'm doing this, and when I execute this, the same piece of code, instead of executing normally, I'm using the I'm executing it inside the method, so that I can pass some metadata as well. That's the intention. So if I come back here, see chartbot final has come, because that's the name we have given, and inside which the same exact things have come up. That's it. And now if I come to metadata here, if you see session ID, thread ID 1, we can even filter out the runs based on the session ID and all those things as well. If you see, if I click on metadata here, what is the key? See, if you see, the session ID has come here, and if you pass this particular value, we can even filter our runs as well. All these are that specific runs only. That's why we got all this. These all have the session ID as 1. Session ID as thread ID 1. If you see, I mean, all these are the traces. the same session id thread id equal to 1 for all this. I mean all this has come up. So that's it. So this is how we can even pass the extra metadata to our nodes or to our LangGraph agent and then trace it in our LangSmith UI. And now the next part. So see, we are able to send the information from our code to LangSmith. So we can get the information from LangSmith to code as well. What are the previous runs? How many runs has happened? How many traces has happened for this specific project? All this information can be queried. Here, if you see, I have a get thread history method inside which I am getting a connection to LangSmith. That's it. I'm just having one string. So using that LangSmith client connection, I'm just listing out all the runs in this specific project with this filter condition. That's it. Okay, and then I am returning those. That's it. So a simple method to read. Now if I execute this by passing these two parameters, what is the thread id and then the project name YouTube trial 2, we should see all the runs which we have done. See, if you see, we have executed this one time before, right? So all these runs have come up. So not only these three details like the name, run type and run ID, you can get all this kind of information, whatever is the input, output, metadata information, everything can be fetched as well. Here we just need to add those conditions in this filter condition. That's it. So now if you see, there is one more pointer which we need to remember. By default, all the traces when you set an environment variable equal to true here, LangSmith tracing equal to true, everything is traced. Instead, if you would want only some 50% or 75% of the things to be traced, then you can even mention that as well using in the environment variables. So when you just give the sampling tracing rate equal to 0.75, only the 75% of this things will be traced. That's one of the option we have. And also we can pass along with the metadata. If you see, previously I have passed the thread id, right? Here I have passed the user id and the tags as well, and we can filter the same. If you see the same chart method like above, here it just has a name. Now here I'll just make it a final 22, and then tags and user id in the metadata we are passing it. So when I execute this, see, this is the latest run which we have executed, and if you come to the metadata, see the user id and everything has come here, the thread id, because we are passing a LangSmith extra, and the LangSmith extra is nothing but the project name and the session id, right? The same has come up here. Along with that, we pass the user id as well in the decorator. Here that has come, and again the tags will also be there. So if you come here and if I scroll right, the tags equal to CPR. So we can filter based on the tags as well. So there are multiple ways to pass the metadata from our code to LangSmith. And also not just the textual information, you can even pass the multimodal information as well. So when I execute this again, if you see here, I'm just passing the image file to this model, and I'm just asking to explain, okay, what is this image. So when it comes here, when I refresh this, if you go to runs, the input is the image, the output is what the description it has done. So so you understood on how we can use LangSmith even in the LangGraph as well while creating the node. So every node or every step or every LLM call can also be traced using the LangSmith in LangGraph. That's it. Thank you so much for watching.